Good morning, good morning, good morning, sunshines. I think we are live. Let me check my phone. Yes, the phone says we are. All right, you guys already know if I don't watch me, nobody will. So I am here. Wait, girl, fast forward. I'm trying to fast forward on the phone so that it's in real time. Okay, I think I did it well. As close to as in real time. All right, good morning, sunshines, and welcome to my little channel. This is Organized Chaos coming to you live with today's drinking journal. I got a new mug. I have no idea if I've ever showed you this mug. I need to get some more fancier mugs, but this is my Good Morning Sunshine mug because it's always morning and it's always sunshine. You guys know that I'm on my little weight loss journey. I'm down 10 pounds officially as of, I think, yesterday. So the drink of the day is some good H2O. We have that drink ready. We have our slides. I have a lot of tabs open today, so pardon me if I struggle stream. Struggle stream is my biggest issue. But before I get started, I'm going to hit y'all with my cute little intro because I love my cute little intro. And we're back. First and third and fourth and fifth of all, my daughter is in the studio. Hey, Spirit, do you want me to bring you up on the screen while I present? Yes, no. You look like you in a bed. Would you like to come up on the channel so everybody can see your in the bed look or nah? Is that a yes or no? You can type it in the chat. Are you watching it and in the studio, or are you just in the studio? I can't. You got to talk to me in the chat. Like, I'm about to add you to the stream. You ready? You coming up here with your mom? Let's add Spirit to the screen, you guys. Hey, girl. Hey. Everybody, this is my daughter, Spirit. Hey, girl. Hey, Foxy. Foxy is in here. I love to put the comments. It's nice to have comments in the chat. It's kind of like a conversation. So I'm getting better with showing the comments. I got my daughter on the screen with me. Are you here for support? Spirit is that this is my support system today. Hey, Sunday. Hey, girl. Hey. Hey, girl. All right. So Spirit is just going to be here. Stuck in the bed, I'm guessing. Is that what college life is about, little girl? You just get to stay stuck in the bed all day on Sunday? Well, I appreciate you coming up here with your mom to hang out with me today and be my support system because that's what I'm trying to be for my mom. All right, everybody, I am going to get started. Again, if I struggle stream, the Streamyard will show me that I'm struggle streaming, so I'll try to slow it down some. Spirit, if you see me struggle streaming, I need you to talk to the people.
What does that mean?
I'm struggle streaming.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
That means I'm probably frozen or it's really glitchy. I'll know that it comes back, like the thing in StreamYard will tell me that I'm okay again. Like now I can tell I'm okay. But I still haven't figured out my Wi-Fi monitor situationship. So I do struggle stream sometimes. So you got to talk. Sunday says the snow has Spirit undercover. When did you text me, Spirit? Yesterday to tell me it was snowing up there. Well, it snowed here today. So you guys are ahead of us.
I can show you the window. It's not that bad. It's just like a little bit of snow. Like, can you see the window?
I see the snow outside on the ground.
Yeah.
You still got the fan on? It's still hot in the room?
If I turn the fans off, then it will be.
I know, I got that. So the fan allows you to stay under the covers because it's a little chilly. Awesome. All right, baby girl, let's take this little journey together. So, for anybody that's watching it live or on the replay, today's drinking journal is about the beginning of my ancestry / my heritage / GED match journey. One of the new things that I've added to my drinking journal is something called weekly recs. Those are my weekly recommendations for other YouTube channels that I absolutely just like, love, or at the moment have gotten down with. So I will share that first, and then I will start with the other information. So first, let me share my screen. I think I have all of my links uploaded. My daughter was slowing me down earlier because she called me and she was trying to talk to me while I was preparing for today's drinking journal, but I think I still got it together anyway. All right. Oh, wait, I'm sharing the whole screen. Stop the share screen. I'm sharing the same screen, girl. That's backwards. Okay, share. I need to share that screen. See, this is called struggle streaming spirit when I don't know which screen to share. That's part of my struggle stream situationship. All right. So this is the thumbnail. This is the talk for today. I'll get there. I always try to run ahead. So I woke them up. It's in the thumbnail because I swear now that I've started looking for the ancestors, they talk to me. Not like conversation, but they help me find others on the journey. And I'll tell you guys about 3 cousins that I've met so far. 3. It's been awesome. All right. So my weekly recs this week is all the same. There is a guy who has a YouTube channel. His name is Math Hoffa. I don't know what math stands for. I know the Hoffa comes from the Jimmy Hoffa, and I just found them. And I can't even explain to you why I love the channel. I have to show you why I love his channel. This is Math Hoffa's channel. Just the look of the channel is amazing to me. It's very professional. And look at the thumbnails. Every thumbnail, you see beautiful Black men kicking it in the barbershop. Of course, it's some of him because it's his channel. But what pulled me in, you can see the ones I've watched. I watched that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. The only thing that I don't like about the channel is, and it's not his channel in general. See, like now I think I'm about to be frozen, Spirit. Am I frozen? Am I good? Because my little thing, my signal went up on okay, it stopped. Okay, thanks, Sunday. All right, so one of the things that I don't like, but he does it, a lot of content creators that are really huge in YouTube do it. They record long live videos and then they remove them from YouTube and they slice them up and put them out into like 10, 15, 20-minute clips. And they put the whole long videos on Patreon because you can get people to go to Patreon and pay for that service. But other than that, I enjoy the listening to Black men talk. It's just something that I absolutely enjoy doing. So Math Hoffa is my 1, 2, and 3 picks of this week for drinks and journal. Once I found him, I obsessed over him. See, like now I only see 1 bar on my internet connection. Is it good? Okay, I hope so. All right. So yeah, I obsessed over him all week. And like I had some other ones I was going to share with y'all. I'll save them to next week. Everybody needs to go listen to Math Hoffa, and his intro and his music and the conversations that they have in the barbershop are just awesome to me. It makes me feel like a little girl listening in where my daddy used to cut hair in the barbershop. I think that's what it is. It's very reminiscent for me. All right. So next up is the ancestry conversation. Before I get into the overview, I want to share with you guys how I got here. something I've been thinking about. And of course, I went through a lot of the other conversations that a lot of people have. I don't want my DNA in the system. I don't want them to use it for A, B, C, and D, or, what if somebody comes looking for me? I've had all those conversations over the years that DNA has been out. What pushed me to do it this time is my mom. She had a health scare recently. She's getting older. And I've always asked her a lot of questions about her life growing up, and she's never been able to articulate things to me that I've asked her. She's always had the go ask Barbara, which is her sister, response. My entire life, she's told me to go ask Barbara. And so I would ask Barbara, but I wasn't really interested in getting the information from Barbara until now. So I'm trying to put together the pieces of my mom's life before she was 17 years old. And it's difficult because she's from the not deep south, but the backwoods of Louisiana. And so I have been on a mission to get my DNA and her DNA, and now the rest of my family's DNA in the system, to connect her to her past. And probably selfishly, to answer questions that I've been asking her my entire life. Now, my daddy got stories for days. My daddy can tell you what he had on, what my mama had on, and who he tried to intervene in the conversation when he met her. My mama, when I asked her how she met my daddy, she'd be like, I don't know. I don't know. And I'd be like, well, I can tell you what my daddy said. So my dad's story has been really clear my entire life. My mom's story hasn't. So I put my DNA in the system, and it hit both sides of the tree. I put my mom's DNA in the system, and boom, I could clearly see who was on my mom's side and who was on my dad's side. And my dad's side of the tree filled out so much faster for me because a lot of them are already in the system, and a lot of their history through slavery has been recorded through the generations. My mom's side does not exist like that. It's very different and it's very difficult. So I've been on her side studying the most. I want to share some of the quotes that I have been coming up with, and one that my cousin shared with me. The first one is that they were all raised to keep stuff secret. Me and my mom talked about it. Me and my aunt talked about it. Some people don't remember. Some people don't want to talk. And some people just need somebody to care enough to ask and to keep asking. And like, that's where I am with my aunt. My aunt likes to talk about what she knows because she was there after my mom came here. But she gets a little frustrated when I tell her stuff that she doesn't know, because she's used to being a family historian. So like, when I tell her stuff that she doesn't know, she'll question it, and then she'll stop talking to me for a few days, but then she'll come back maybe a couple days later or a week later, and she'll want to know more about what I'm finding out. So she has been a key connector of information for me, whether she, and we talk about it too, like how uncomfortable it is for her to kind of go back into the past, and for me to question some of the things that she thought was what she thought. It is a little bit uncomfortable for her, but we're getting through it, you guys, and it's helping. One of the things I thought about last night that actually brought me to tears is not being remembered. I realized that my greatest fear, and probably because of the things that my mom can't remember, is not being remembered. I want to be remembered. I think everybody should be remembered. And it is my mission to remember my ancestors. All right. And then my cousin, Karma, we are related on my mother's side through our great, 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 great grandmothers. They were sisters. Ooh, it was so exciting to make the connection. I worked so hard to pull these people out of the universe, and our trees didn't match up until I was like, oh, it's the sisters. It's the sisters. The sisters from about 3 or 4 generations ago had children, and we're all still connected through DNA. It is the most amazing thing. My cousin Karma said it has been beautifully frustrating. That's the realest thing I ever heard about this journey. And then I text my stepmother today, Barbara, and I shared this with her. I told her about the beautifully frustrating quote from my cousin Karma, And then she talked to, I said to her, like, something that I realized: it's been beautiful meeting my ancestors, but it has been frustrating, the time and the energy that I have had to spend to find out who some of them are. It is frustrating. It makes me so angry at America. It makes me so angry at the system that we are forced to participate in. That part of my tree, the European part of my tree, is crystal clear. The African part of my tree is not. And I am pissed about it. I'm pissed about it. Period. All right. Sunday put a comment. And Sunday says, trauma is passed down from generation to generations. Yes. Yes, Sunday. Secrets are dysfunctional attempts to protect. And the problem with that, Sunday, is that the future generations will keep repeating. I have seen so many patterns through the trees. Like, I don't even know these people, like who they are for real, for real. I'm just looking at the names. I'm looking at cross sections of DNA. I'm looking at census reports of people who lived in the same neighborhood. And the backwoods of Louisiana, it wasn't like blocks and neighborhoods like we have in a city. It's like a trailer here. And then 5 miles up the road, it's another trailer up the road. And 5 miles back in that wooded area, it's another trailer. And y'all might be cousins, sisters. We don't know, because the census records are inaccurate. Some people couldn't read, they couldn't write, they had third grade education or less, and they told the census takers whatever they wanted to tell them. And they changed their last name. The white people in the backwoods, when the black people, and you can see the DNA start crossing, the names will start changing, because the white people didn't want to have the same names as their black relatives. It's deep. The story is deep. I am learning. I am one generation from poverty. My mother was born into poverty, y'all. Poverty, like poverty, not poor. My mother and all of her siblings were born into poverty. My mother came out of poverty when she came to Detroit. And she's not looked back. She does go visit every now and then, but she did send us as children. So that makes me comfortable, I think, and confident that nothing like terrible. I used to think something bad must have happened to her. I just think she was tired of being poor, and she was looking around like, and she told me in one of the interviews I did with her about a decade ago, it was nothing to do in Louisiana. She graduated and came to Detroit with some family members, her aunts and cousins. All right, so this is my ancestry report. I'm going to summarize this report because just from the first glance of looking at it, it looks like I have more European DNA than anything. But once you add up the actual regions, it's not true. And I'll show you that in the summary that I did. So this is my initial report that I got from Ancestry. It was very interesting. When you first get it, it feels like, oh, this is who I am. I thought I had some Native American girl, you ain't got none of that, but you do. I'll show you guys how. It's about 11%. It's not a lot, but I have it. Am I struggle streaming? You guys, my little Wi-Fi signal is on. It's a good time to take a sip of water. Okay, I think I'm good. All right, so that's my ancestry report. The general numbers. This is my heritage report, and I'll show you guys both of these systems. Off the top, Ancestry is my favorite system to use right now. I only have used Ancestry and my heritage. I'll show you the pros and cons of both, but Ancestry is my favorite. So this is the report from my heritage. I like this one because it groups it all for you, and it shows you the different percentages of what part you're from. So I do know that the majority of my DNA is from West Africa. I would like to visit, but West Africa has a lot of conflict, so it's not safe for Americans to go there. But that is where the majority of my DNA is coming from. The European side of me, this is the My Heritage report. The different systems show different numbers because they use different tests. The Ancestry, it was a spit in a tube test. The My Heritage is a cheek swab test. And now my DNA and my mom's DNA is in both of the systems. That has absolutely helped because everybody doesn't use the same system. I'm sure I would get even more results if I did like 23andMe or some other ones. But there are costs involved with all of this, and I'm going to share that with you guys too. So I'm going to share a quick article that I'm not going to read with you about my heritage versus ancestry. I'll tell you about my experiences with each and what the interface of each looks like. I'm going to show you one of the European sides of my mom's tree, and it goes back through the Revolutionary War. So I'm going to share that with you guys today. So I didn't share that information about Math Hoffa. I'm gonna close these down though, just because as least amount of tabs as I can have open is good for me, so that I don't slow down my sharing ability. All right. So the next thing I want to show you guys is the article, Ancestry versus My Heritage. In general, they are very similar. Ancestry is better for a global view. My heritage is better for a North American view in general. I think that's the best way I can summarize them. Ancestry, they both kind of offer the same thing. I will tell you this: building a tree in Ancestry is much easier and it is much more user friendly than building a tree in My Heritage. I'm gonna slow down. My Wi-Fi signal is doing its thing, so we need to take a drink. And we're good to go again. All right, so I'm not gonna read all of this, but that's my general overview of these two. Now, this is part of my ancestry tree. This right here, it really is nice in ancestry because colors, of course. Who doesn't like the colors? But when you connect with an ancestor, these little leaves will pop up. It will allow you to confirm information inside of the system. And when you connect with other trees that are open, you get to pull in all of their information and put it into your tree too. My heritage does not do that. I hate that part of my heritage. Period. Okay. So this side of my mother's ancestry is through my mother's grandmother, her mother's side of the tree. So this is my mother's maternal side of the tree. Goes back so far. So we have two potential matches up here that if I click on them, it'll give me a name for Thomas Edward's mother and father, which very likely is going to be true because this is the European side of my family tree. All of this information so far, once I confirmed who they were, is true. This, what I've confirmed so far, goes back to 1647, you guys. Thomas Edwards was born in 1647. He died in 1698. He was married to Abigail Love Landlow. She was born in 1644 to 1680. When I click in here, so like Thomas has a green leaf, so I haven't finished accepting all of his information. I accepted all of Abigail's and it didn't give me information about her mother and father. When I click on Thomas Edwards Sr. from New York, it will give me, and this it will give me all of the information on this. It will tell me information from other trees. It tells me where he was born, where he passed away. It gives me other ancestors' trees. It gives me where he's buried at. It public records on him, exactly him in England. I know where Bell's DNA is coming from. This has been an absolute journey to know where you come and how you got to where you are. All right, I'm gonna close out ancestry. I
You're
figured that
frozen a
your job
little
is to.
bit.
Are you talking?
Hey guys.
I know. Are you talking?
What am I supposed to say?
You're supposed to be talking when I'm frozen. Am I still frozen?
No.
I'm back. Am I back? So, Spirit, you have to be a better co-host. Automatically, your job is to co-pilot this ship today if you're going to be my support system. So as soon as you see your mom frozen, it's your job to just kick in and start talking about whatever. You got it? All right, so I closed down the ancestry. That's probably part of why I got frozen. I saw it spinning. This is the My Heritage interface. I started going back on this one to Rebecca Bissell from 1782 to 1834. See how nothing is pretty in here? It's just so blah. And your family tree, if you want to connect with somebody else in My Heritage, they have to give you permission to connect to their tree. That sucks. We're all in here looking for each other. Why do I need permission to look at their stuff? These is my people, girl. Let me see your tree. They might not even be active in the system anymore, right? So My Heritage, the interface for My Heritage sucks. But the reason that I put my DNA in My Heritage is because my auntie is in My Heritage. And hitting her DNA with my DNA and my mom's DNA helped. And it made her call me. We do anything to keep the elders talking, y'all. If you get on this DNA journey with elders who have been really quiet about their history or who are really uncomfortable, you have to keep them talking. Even when they don't want to talk, you got to keep your people talking. If you keep talking to them, they will know that you care. Like you're not just asking questions, you're not really invested. My auntie keeps coming back because she knows that I'm invested in this now. Right? Like, so she keeps coming back to talk to me, even though it's really uncomfortable for her. So if you take this journey, don't give up on your elders. Get them talking and get their DNA in the system, y'all. That's the only way, especially if you are of African heritage, any way, shape, or form. The only way to connect these dots is to get our DNA in the system because the government did not give a damn about us. Facts. All right, I'm going to close out the My Heritage. I'm going to take you guys back to, I can close that one out too, to my presentation. And I'm going to summarize some of the DNA because I already showed you the interfaces. I'm going to summarize some of the DNA that I found on me and my mommy. So on My Ancestry versus My Heritage, these are the differences in how they evaluate the DNA. Remember, Ancestry is more of the world in general. My Heritage is North America focused, right? So some parts of the My Heritage I trust more than some parts of the Ancestry. Having them both to look at is good. It's better to have more information than not. So my Ancestry, I am 66% West African. I added up all those African numbers, and it is all West Africa. 60%, 66% of my DNA is from Africa in Ancestry, and My Heritage is 60.5%. It's close. My European DNA in Ancestry is about 33%. It's about 36.3% in My Heritage. I think My Heritage is more accurate because they are more focused on the European DNA. And then My Heritage pulled out 3.2% Asian DNA. Girl, my mama got 5.5%. Where that come from? Was like, girl, we is all mixed up. My mommy's West African heritage is 63%. So I am going to assume that my dad's side of the family has some West African heritage as well. My mom's my heritage, West African heritage, is about 60.7. Her European heritage in Ancestry is about 37%. In My Heritage, it's about 33.8. Now, this is totally opposite of my European heritage. So I'm not really sure of why that exists. And then she has more Asian DNA than I do. She has 5.5%. Looking at the costs, the DNA test for Ancestry is regularly $99, but it is the holiday season, and it's some sales going on. So right now those tests are $59. I believe that I'm going to get everybody a DNA test. Flat out. Flat out. Christmas is coming. Keisha coming through with DNA tests. I know, right? Now, taking a DNA test is not enough. You have to get add-on services in order for this to work. Those trees that I showed you earlier only work if you pay for them. You don't get a family tree with your purchase of your DNA test. You got to pay extra. So in Ancestry, to build your tree for 6 months, it's $199. I am 2 months into my service, which is why I am so dedicated to it, because I don't want to pay another $199 in 6 months. I want to be done with Ancestry after 6 months, and I want to have all the pieces. I am about to take a trip down south with my mom to find her as a young newborn and a youth. She was there for 17 years, but she doesn't exist in public records. So we're going there before my 6 months is up so I can connect some of these pieces. I even went so far, y'all. I emailed the superintendent of the Amite, Louisiana School District, and I asked her for a copy of their 1961 yearbook for my mom. I told my brother this and he died. He was like, "What is wrong with you?" I was like, "I'm serious about this. Like, this is important to me." So yes, I am trying to get her yearbook, because where's she at? Why she not? She exists. She's not going to fade. Listen, my girl existed. Ain't nobody gonna have to search for her. As far as I listen, she existed. We about to put her in the universe because she existed. All right. My Heritage is a little less expensive than Ancestry, but their interface sucks. Flat out. However, I have a year subscription with them because you can't get 6 months. So once I fill out my Ancestry tree, I'm going to build more inside of the My Heritage. So it's going to get prettier after a while. It's just not very pretty now. My daughter left me. She just left. Where did she go? She just left. How did she just leave me? She knows I have struggle streaming issues and she's gone. Oh, wait, I got a private chat. What did she say? Is that her? Oh, she said she couldn't hear me. Okay. She told me. See, she cares. All right. So the My Heritage is regularly $79. Of course, that's when I got mine, because whatever. Now they are $47. Everybody's getting a My Heritage test too. The Family Tree website is $300. Now, what I will say about both of these services is you don't have to buy the family tree for everybody that takes a DNA test. So my mother's DNA is connected to me. So all of her stuff is already inside of my DNA trees. So it just connects there. So you don't have to get the add-on services for everybody. One person can get the add-on. So if your family wants to do it, that would be like the best way to do it. You get all your siblings to kind of pitch in. Y'all can get the subscription, and then everybody just gets a DNA test, and one person controls the family tree. That would be my suggestion for anybody that wants to take the journey, especially if you have a big family. Everybody pitch in, get the subscription, and then everybody pay for their DNA test, or however y'all want to do it. But definitely get the elders. The elders are the key to a good, a easier search. All right. The next one is something called GED Match. Now, I didn't know anything about this GED Match until my cousin Karma told me to, hit it up. Spirit is coming back. Let me pull my support system back up. Where you at, Spirit? I don't see your face. I see you now. Okay. Spirit is back, you guys. All right. Can you hear me now, little girl? All we see is the top of your bunk. What are you doing? Why we can't see your face? Are
I'm
you
on the
hiding?
beanbag. No, I'm using my tablet. So I just put it down.
Oh. Well, can we get a view other than the top of the bed? You are a struggle streamer worse than me. Spirit is struggle stream junior. Flat out.
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
All right, so now GED match. Y'all, this is the most confusing thing I've ever done, but it gave me information that helped me with my tree. I think I'm frozen, Spirit. Am I frozen?
No.
My Wi-Fi signal. Every time my Wi-Fi signal gets spotty, that's when I have my little drink while I journal. Okay, it looks good now. Okay, so GED match is a system that I can't even tell you how it works. I have no idea. All I know is I downloaded my DNA from Ancestry and I uploaded it into GED match. When I uploaded my DNA into GED match, even if they weren't in Ancestry, even if they weren't in MyHeritage, anybody that uses any DNA system can download their DNA and upload it into GED match. It is a free system. And this system shows you relatives. It shows you how close they are. This system showed me a name that I didn't know. I looked for the name in on my Ancestry. I looked for it in MyHeritage and I couldn't find it. GED match gives you an email. I took a shot in the dark. I emailed the person and my cousin emailed me back. It was so exciting. I told her that I found her in GED match. I knew her name, her maiden name was one of our family names. I just had no idea how we were connected. We shared names that we knew. She gave me 2 names that I had already been researching, but I had no idea who they were. The names that she gave me are her grandparents. Once I put her piece of the puzzle and the information that she gave me based on conversations with her aunts and uncles, the whole tree lit up. Y'all, it was so exciting. So I literally used this GED match, got an emailed my cousin. She responded. We shared names with each other, and that helped us connect dots. She hasn't been in Ancestry for a long time. She said she's about to renew her subscription in Ancestry so she can see my tree. That's another thing. Ancestry will allow you to see trees as long as the person has an active subscription. When their subscription expires, you can't see their tree anymore and they can't see your tree anymore. The only way you can see an active tree is to have a subscription personally. So like my mother, I control my mother's DNA through one of my emails, but if she wanted to log into the system to see my family tree, she could not see it. She would have to log in as me in order to see the family tree. But her DNA is connected to me through the system. I control her DNA matches, if that makes sense. I hope it does. So GED match is just another tool that you can use that will help you in this journey. This is just a little bit of information about GED match. It says we compare your test results from all supported genetic testing companies. That's what I was telling you. Any genetic testing company, you can download your DNA data and put it in this free system. You don't have to pay for this. Now, this system is confusing as hell Because unless you are like a person who loves data and looks at data and loves to tear data apart, that's all this system puts out. It puts out the DNA data. It shows you the match percentages. It gives you a name and it gives you an email address. That's it. You're not building a tree in here. You're not making matches in here. It's just like, boom, here's more information. Do with it what you will. Right? So GED match, I highly recommend that as an additional piece of your puzzle when you are building your DNA tree. All right, last thing is this is going to be my New Year's Christmas present to myself because I don't think I can give this to everybody. I want to know where in West Africa my DNA is from. And so I want to take the African ancestry DNA. The African ancestry, I've been trying to figure out how it works. They have two different subscriptions. This one is maternal and paternal. It's a family DNA test that costs $729. That's why this is like the cream of the crop, y'all. It costs a lot to find out what they did with us. Ain't that interesting? We are the hardest DNA to trace. And in order to trace it on both sides, it costs $729. But I want it. So I'm going to do it. Yeah. That's my story. So that's my story for today. My mother wanting to be able to share her life, her first 17 years of life with her. It has become really important. And so, journey, I will update you from time to time on the journey. Oh, let me tell you a little bit about the journey. I cry a lot. It's so interesting. I have no idea why. I just be crying like, girl, what you crying for? Because I swear the ancestors be talking to me and I be like so overwhelmed. I be so excited. And when I get stuck, like when I can't move any further, they usually tell me it's because I'm wrong. And so they'll slow me down and they tell me, okay, you can click that name, but that's not the person. That's what happened with one of my great grandmothers. I had a name, but it was the wrong name. And so I couldn't get any further until I figured out her name. Once I figured out her name and connected with my cousin through GED match, it changed the game. It changed the game. So this is a very frustrating, very time consuming. I spend hours upon hours. I do this before I go to work. I do it when I get off from work. I spend entire weekends doing this work. This work is, people get paid to do this. You can tell. Because it's not easy work, especially and sadly on the Black folk side of the tree. Unless your people did really good documenting their journey, you are going to have to spend some time digging through the trees to figure out where you are and who you belong to and who belongs to each other. But so far, 2 months in with lots of hours, I can't even tell you how many hours, this has been one of the best things that I've ever done. I just feel like if I could never give my mother something, to be able to give her herself is a pretty amazing gift. And so, baby girl got time, and baby girl is on a mission. And along the way, I've been able to give my daddy information about his side of the tree. And I haven't even had to spend a lot of time over there because they did their thing. Those ancestors did their thing over there. So I'm going to share all of that information with you guys one day. I'll tell you about the Revolutionary War information I find out. I still have a lot of digging to do, a lot of researching to do, but I've seen records from the Cherokee tribes. I've seen records from the Revolutionary War. I've seen draft cards. I've seen lots and lots of stuff. It's more difficult to bring you guys closer to my current lineage because some of those people are still alive. But I'm willing to take y'all back into them 16, 17, 1800s. So I'm going to do a couple of updates. I'm not sure how many yet, but I will be here. I probably will do one next week. Definitely won't be here the weekend of Thanksgiving because the girl got things to do. But next week, I will probably have my first edition of Who's Who in this family tree. What is that, Spirit? What are you sharing with us?
Last night, I downloaded Barbie's Dreamhouse Adventures, the game.
Spirit, what does Barbie's Dreamhouse Adventures have to do with anything that I'm talking about right now?
They're a family.
These are the kind of conversations that me and Spirit have all the time, y'all. I'll be talking about something and Spirit will just on a tangent talk about what girl? Thank you, Roz. I hope this was good information. I hope that anybody that would like to start this journey does so. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Please hit that subscribe. Please hit that like. Please share. Get your elders. Please get your elders. If you are interested in the journey, get them to take a DNA test. It helps. It helps. I'm trying to go down south and get all my uncles in them to take one. I don't know though. They still live in those backwoods, y'all. So we'll see how this goes. But I still have family that lives back there in those what are they called, Spirit? It's like the trailer park houses. They live in those and they have them up on blocks. Spirit's been down there, you guys. Spirit and my son have been down there with us. What'd you say, Spirit?
You're talking about the bricks that they're on top of?
Uncle Pete's house. Like Uncle Pete's house. And the house we stayed in. The trailer we stayed in, yeah.
What about it?
They're far away from each other. Like, and they still live in those type of, and it's not like a trailer park, because trailer park houses are really close to each other. So, these trailer park houses.
No, like in the South.
Go ahead, Spirit.
Like it's not just like that. It's like there's a house and then there's a trailer that they own on the land that they own.
Yeah, there's lots of land that's down there in the family, and there's lots of homes and or trailer homes down there that family members live in. Kind of like me living next door to my mom. It's a family thing, generationally. They all live next to each other. All right, you guys, I'm out of here. Yes, she's talking about Barbie Rise. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Please like, subscribe, and share. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers. Then I'll tell you guys how many subscribers I actually have. I'm still over 50. Bye, guys.